from Florida State. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Recon, 132 fighter.
To throw, Cousins. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, and I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, their pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and you know the coaches just got after them. They came in ready to play.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Here's one of 2 Colquitts punting at our game here. This is Britton who gets the first shot. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. This is Darwin Thompson, 6th-round pick from Utah State. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
50 seconds to Mike. Check your hot reach.
They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
To throw is Darnold. Completes it to Hardman. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Viking 17-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Darwin Thompson, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
All right, D. All right, D. 25. Check 25. Check 25.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. The bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 46. Cousins gives way to Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
I'm here all day. Sponge.
On 2nd down, it's Cook, and he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3-and-out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
53. Mike 53.
From the gun, here's Cousins. His throw incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Let's go, D. Tighten up. Let's go, D. Tighten up.
They go play action. Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from UVA, Juan Thornhill. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8. At the 18-yard line.
Mike, 57.
6-0 our score after 1.
Score, Chiefs 6, Vikings nothing.
We're going to start. Mike, 57. I'm coming.
On 2nd down now, it's Thompson. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Stephen Weatherly. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They run the counter. Thompson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down.
New draw, Corker.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. Gets this one to Hill. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
As we mentioned, here's older brother Dustin Colquitt to punt this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
At their own 37-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And this one to Treadwell, complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
They don't want to keep playing hard. Third down. Woo! Let's get it.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. All right, number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Danielle Hunter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Charles, what a slacker. 5 sacks last week. Took him all the way to the second quarter to get one here in this one.
And just think about all the planning that went into this game to try and keep him from getting to the quarterback. After one quarter, maybe they exhaled and thought, hey, we've got this. Oh, no, you don't. You got to come up with another plan, more looks, maybe even more bodies to keep him out of the backfield.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman of the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Lady, spot 4. Mike, spot 4. Watch the pass. Right there. Lady. Right there. 54, Mike. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Whip, 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 whip. Lady.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that is incomplete. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. On second down, Cook. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Cousins now from the 50. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His second touchdown on the season, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a...
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Here we go. Here we go.
And a pretty good run, all things considered. Probably would have liked that in the first quarter instead of right now as the clock continues to run. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on second and long, but now you still have to deal with third and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Mike, 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Stop your whining. Red 80. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4.
Throwing here on third down. Darnold. He's got his man. That's Hardman. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. A first down throw. Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. All day, just like that. Just like that.
A final shot before the break. Darnold. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
I'm here all day. Shoot! Watch the shoot!
The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20. Gets it to Hardman, a jet sweep. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter.
Brings up second and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Mike 57. Y'all not ready. Red 80.
Looking to throw on second down. Darnold taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Big stop, let's go.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And down right around the 37. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Mike's by 4. Don't let him breathe. Don't let him breathe. Play that down deep. Don't let him breathe, defense.
Play action. It's Darnold. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete. So the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Hey, Wahoo! Mike 54. Mike 54. He's time to use it.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
First and 10, 47-yard line.
You got it, son. Watch safety 3. Watch safety 61. Matchbox right.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anderson Aho. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Cousins toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one. and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. This is Johnson. He's got it. A pickup of 27, and they pick up the first down in the process.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves them from a 3-and-out. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run. Cook. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Again, it's Cook. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Jahan, what are these? Shoot.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Cousins to his tight end, Rudolph, for a Viking first down. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw to Thielen. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 50-yard line.
We're back now in KC. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. 6-6. Pull it high.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Listen.
Throwing on second down. Cousins. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 23. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
A run on first down, but it's not going to get them much. Maybe a yard, and that's all. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Second and 9 at the Chiefs' 22-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Cousins now. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play of this football game. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. So a pretty big 3rd down mistake right there.
No doubt about it, and everyone's going to be upset. But they have to get out of this now and go ahead and play. They could have someone come at them in a big way on the next down.
Cook following the penalty. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He completes it to Treadwell. And he's brought down. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota first. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Alexander Madison with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking to throw again on second down. Darnold. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Following the interception, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the Chiefs' 12-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Mike. Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
Here we go.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And here we go on 4th. Darnold. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. Here's Madison running on 1st down. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock.
At the Chiefs' 26-yard line.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Another carry now for Madison. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Throwing, Cousins. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from UVA, Juan Thornhill. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 7-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you say baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the first quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for the Vikings, it's a rare bright spot in what's been a tough season as they move to 2-7 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5.